Dear students, welcome to the video lecture of Object-Oriented Database Management System. It's a very significant concept. Object-Oriented Database Management System, also known as ODBMS. The pure world. Database management system have progressed from the index file to network and hierarchical system to relational system. So they have a starting from the files and as well as to network, hierarchical database management system to relational database management system. Many researchers observe that they are inadequate. They are inadequate for a broader class of application with the unconventional and complex data requirement. So this DBMS is not sufficient for a broader class of application with the unconventional and complex data type requirements. These requirements, along with the popularity of the object-oriented programming, have resulted in great demand for object-oriented DBMS, that is OODBMS. Many researchers observe that they are inadequate for a broader class of application with the unconventional and complex data type requirements. These requirements, along with the popularity of the object-oriented programming, have resulted in great demand for object-oriented DBMS, that is known as a OODBMS. So what is the ODBMS? The combination of object-oriented programming plus database technology. So they combinedly create a object-oriented database management system, ODBMS. By combining the object-oriented programming with the database technology, we have an integrated application development system. We have an integrated development application system. A significant characteristics of the object-oriented technology. Many advantages occur from including the definition of operation within the definition of data. Many advantages are attained from including the definition of operation with the definition of data. So these are the advantages. The first advantage, the defined operation apply universally. So defined operations are not specific to a particular domain, apply universally and are not dependent on the particular database application running at the moment. So the operations are not dependent on the particular database application. Second, the data type can be extended to support the complex data such as multimedia by defining new object class that have operations to support the new kind of information. Second, the data types can be extended to support the complex data such as multimedia by defining the new object classes that have operations to support the new kind of information. The Object-Oriented Database Management System Manifesto, which is created by the Malcolm Atkinson et al., describe the necessary characteristics that the system is satisfied to be considered an object-oriented database. The characteristics are shown here. The characteristics can be broadly divided into object-oriented language properties and database requirements. So we are having a set of characteristics, set of unique characteristics for the object-oriented database management system. First, the system must support the complex object. A system must provide simple atomic type of objects, that means integer and character, from which the complex objects can be built. From which the complex object can be built by applying constructors to the automatic object or other objects or both. A system must provide a simple atomic type of objects such as integers and characteristics from which the complex objects can be built by applying constructors to atomic objects or other complex objects or both. Second, object identity must be supported. A data object must have identity. Each object have a unique identity and the existing independent of its values, that is supported by the OODBMS. Second, object must be encapsulated. An object must be encapsulate both the program and its data. It should be encapsulate both the program and its data. Encapsulation embodies the separation of the interface and implementation and need for the modularity. Okay, so this encapsulation is segregate the interface as well as implementation. It means that when another object wants to access a particular service from this object, this has to request through the interface. Next, fourth point, the system must support the types or classes. The system must support either type concept like embodies by C++ or the class concept embodies by the Smalltalk. The system must support inheritance. The class and types can participate in class hierarchy. The inheritance is supported. The class and types can participate in class hierarchy. Next, the system must avoid premature binding, no, that means no static binding. This feature also is known as a late binding or dynamic binding. Since classes and types support the encapsulation and inheritance, the system must resolve the conflict in operation at runtime. The system must computationally complete. Any computable function should be expressible in a data manipulation language, DML of the system, thereby allowing expression of any type of operation. System must be computationally completed. Means that any computable function should be expressed in the DML form, database manipulation language form of the system, and thereby allowing expression of the any type of operation. The system must be extensible. The user of the system should be able to create a new types that have a equal status of the systems in the predefined types. So this is the user of the system should be able to create a new types. That means extension of the system that has equal to the system's predefined types. The requirements are met by most modern object-oriented programming languages such as Smalltalk, C++. Also, clearly these requirements are not directly by the traditional relational hierarchical network database management system. So, actually, this requirements which are met by the O programming technology such as Smalltalk, C++, and also clearly these requirements are not met directly by the traditional relational hierarchical network database management system, but they are supported by the object-oriented database management system. Next, the second rules make it a DBMS. So it must be, these are rules are based on DBMS. It must be persistent and able to remember an object. So database management system must allow the programmer to have a data survive beyond the execution of creating a process for it to be reused in another process. So data should be stored in the database. That's why it's able to survive beyond the execution of the process which is creating this particular DBMS and able to reuse by the another object. It must able to manage a very large databases. The system must efficiently manage access to the secondary storage and provide the performance features such as indexing, clustering, buffering, and query optimization for the objects. It must accept the concurrent users. The system must allow multiple concurrent users and support the notation of the atomic serializable transaction. So it should allow the concurrent users at the same time. It should support the atomicity of the data and as well as serializable transactions. So these 11 are the properties of the object-oriented database management system. It's a combination of object-oriented programming and database technology. So that's it for the object-oriented database management system. Thanks for watching the video.